The other day, I was looking around in my husband's library, and those of you who know Don know or would imagine that he has quite an extensive library. And I ran across this book, A Woman in Front of the Sun on Becoming a Writer by Judith Ortiz Cofer. And I picked that up. I thought, well, I'd like to look at that. And right next to it was this book, Reaching for the Mainland and Selected New Poems, also by Cofer. And I've been looking through it, and I found a poem I really liked for the midweek poetry break. The title is Through Climate Changes. This book was published in 1995, before the phrase climate change was quite so much on our lips. So this is a different kind of climate change that she means in the poem. It's in the voice of a daughter going to her mother's house. Through climate changes. He waits in her widow's living room, where she has not removed father's photograph from its vantage point on the mantel. I have traveled all day through climate changes from north to south to see her. On the drive from the airport, she tells me about the man who will never, never take my father's place. I inhale deeply, the air heavy with subtropical moisture, her perfume, his favorite, now intensified by the closeness, the heat. The familiar smells call up the times when, curled in the back seat, I trusted my parents to take me where they would. Now, exhausted and dizzy from the journey, I watch my mother's hands gripping the wheel, the subtle map of veins becoming bas-relief, tracing the same country as mine clasped on my lap. As we travel down a road lined with mango trees, branches sagging with the weight of the fruit, I listen in silence to her Spanish lament with its refrain of sola, triste, la vida, el amor. I am defeated by the beauty of the words, or simply beaten down by the blazing sun magnified through glass. When we walk into her house, she turns into a shy girl, introducing me formally as if I were a diplomat from a foreign land to the timid man in a starched white shirt embroidered in patterns I recognize from the past. The open palm he extends is both a greeting and a plea. Before I respond, I look up at my father, stern in his frame, and I reject the power granted me by grief. Instead, I reach for the hand of this man who loves my mother. That's a poem by Judith Ortiz Cofer for the Midweek Poetry Break.